Right now, a child is dead after a fatal shooting in the town of Crystal Lake. What we know so far. Also, why some wait for hours just to secure their tickets to the great taste of the Midwest.
Lights, camera, action here at Monona Terrace. I'm Tanasia Shaw covering the big event for people with disabilities here in Madison right now.
That's all coming up at 5:30. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. We begin with breaking news as a child is dead after a fatal shooting in the town of Crystal Lake Saturday evening. The Marquette County Sheriff's Office reported a 3-year-old child was fatally shot by a 7-year-old child. The Marquette County Dispatch Center received a call just before 4:30. The Sheriff's Office said due to the nature of the incident, they will not be releasing any more details at this time. Costco wholesale in Middleton was closed until the afternoon today due to a power outage Sunday morning. Costco confirmed with News 3 Now that the power was out in the building and was restored just before 1:30 Sunday afternoon, and the store reopened at 2:45. It is unknown what caused the outage. A woman is dead after a UTV crash in the town of Kendall Saturday evening. The crash occurred just after 5:30 on the Pecatonica Trail near Brunton Lake. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Office says the UTV was traveling eastbound on the trail when a 50-year-old Illinois man lost control. The passenger of the UTV, a 55-year-old Illinois woman, was found unresponsive. Life-saving measures were attempted, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. The man was taken to a Platteville hospital and was treated for his injuries and later released. Alcohol and speed are believed to be factors to the crash. The crash remains under investigation. Now let's get a look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller, who's live in Madison. Blaze, I can hear in my ear it's a little bit windy, but it has been beautiful today, and there's some rain on the way, so when can we expect that to start?
That's right. It has been beautiful today, and you're also right. It is a bit breezy out here, but it's a pleasant breeze. We've got a little bit of cloud starting to move on in out of the southeast. You can see it there on our visible satellite. Most of that cloud cover is still into northern Illinois, and the lack of cloud cover this afternoon and the plenty of sunshine has allowed temperatures to climb into the 60s and the 70s, pretty much from Lone Rock north and westward, except for the Dells. We're sadly just at 69 degrees. 64 Madison and Janesville, 63 in Waukesha, 50s closer to Lake Michigan. It's 68 in Sauk City and 64 in Sun Prairie. Rain is going to hold off until we go into the overnight hours through the morning commute time frame. On Monday, we'll track that out with Future Track in the full forecast and talk about the Omega blocking pattern that's going to keep us on the quiet side this week in the full forecast.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. Enjoy that Madison weather for me just a little bit longer.
I will.
And you can continue to track the forecast yourself on the First Warn weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, and even radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. Right now, a celebration is underway at the Monona Terrace, A Night to Remember. It is an inclusive celebration for people with special needs. Our Tanasia Shaw is at the party right now. Tanasia, what else can you tell us about the event?
Jalen, I can tell you something that you might like about it. The theme is May the 4th be with you. It's the 4th, Star Wars. I know you like that type of stuff. So yes, everybody is here for this prom theme night. It's all inclusive, specialized towards people with disabilities and their families. Let you see what's all going on. So let's get this right here. I'm gonna have our cameraman Gabe show you. That is aerial dancing right now. I am just in awe of this. They have been on this for a while now, but that's not even all that they have. Right here you can see they have some fun and games all around, excuse me. More fun, more games. So much going on here at the Monona Terrace. And it's all free. Like you said, all this is free. This is an annual event hosted by Heartland Church in Sun Prairie. Every year they meet here to make sure that everybody can have that inclusive prom experience. Now, I'm gonna turn around while I walk in the ballroom because this is really the main event. When you think about prom, you think about dancing. Look at this. Such a beautiful sight to see. Everyone just dancing, grooving, getting it, having fun. Like you said, it's a night to remember. The night just kicked off at 5, but I'm already knowing it's going to be so much more. Where I started, they actually had this little walk of fame. Now, I didn't get to show you now, but we will have more of that during my full story tonight at 10. Jalen, I actually like this song, so I'm going to send it back to you in studio, and I'm going to have a night to remember too.
All right, Tanasia, thank you. May the 4th be with you as well. All right, and ticket sales begin for the Great Taste of the Midwest. Beer enthusiasts lined up all over the Madison area hoping to be one of the first people to buy their tickets to beer heaven. We went out to catch up with some of the people standing in line of Vintage Brewery on Madison's west side to see how long they've been standing in line for their tickets.
About 4 hours, got here around 8 o'clock. There's already a line forming.
Not long. It's been different the last few years. So we got here around 8:30, I guess. So the years past, you used to have to get out here at like 3 a.m., but the last few years it's been better. So 8:30.
The Great Taste of the Midwest is August 9th, and by purchasing a ticket, you gain access to unlimited beer samples from over 200 breweries and pubs, and you'll be able to choose from 1,400 beers. 1 in 10 people in Wisconsin are facing food insecurity, but some Middleton high schoolers are looking to fight those odds in their community. Kicking off their week against hunger, Middleton Meals Matter set up at 6 different locations across the area. They set out to collect non-perishable food items to battle food insecurity.
Dry maybe with food donations and stuff, so we really just wanted to find that boost. So I think that we really just picked this week to, kickstart May and just hopefully get a lot of food for the community.
And coming up next on News 3 Now at 5:30, student loan payments resume Monday as the Department of Education ends a roughly 5-year-long pandemic-era pause. And President Trump posts an AI-generated picture of himself as a pope. It comes as cardinals from around the world set up to gather at Vatican City to choose Pope Francis' successor as the leader of the Catholic Church.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Thank you for staying with us. Federal student loan collections start back up Monday. The Department of Education is ending a roughly 5-year-long pandemic-era pause. The move could impact more than 5 million borrowers. The department is urging borrowers in default to start making a monthly payment, enroll in an income-driven payment plan, or to sign up for loan rehabilitation. If not, the federal agency could order non-federal employers to withhold a percentage of an employee's income to pay the delinquent debt. In one of his most wide-ranging interviews since taking office, President Trump said he was uncertain as to whether citizens and non-citizens living in the U.S. deserve due process. And he did not rule out the possibility of military action in Greenland. CBS News' Christian Benavides has more.
In an interview on NBC's Meet the Press, President Trump said he did not know if it was his job to uphold the Constitution and wavered when asked whether every person on American soil was entitled to due process. The answers came in response to questions about the administration's handling of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador in what Justice Department officials called a clerical error.
Your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Well, the Fifth Amendment says.
I don't know.
It
seems it might say that, but if you're talking about that, then we'd have to have 1 million or 2 million or 3 million trials. We have thousands of people that are some murderers and some drug dealers and some of the worst people on earth. Some of the worst, most dangerous people on earth. And I was elected to get them the hell out of here, and the courts are holding me from doing it.
But even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said.
For the first time, Trump ruled out the possibility of running for a third term, and he discussed possible military action in Greenland.
You are not ruling out military force to take Greenland.
I don't rule it out. I don't say I'm going to do it, but I don't rule out anything. No, not there. We need that. We need Greenland very badly.
The interview comes on the heels of continued backlash over an AI photo he posted on X showing himself dressed as the Pope. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
As for the future of the Republican Party, President Trump said Vice President J.D. Vance or Secretary of State Marco Rubio would be great successors. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said he will meet with President Trump in Washington on Tuesday. The Prime Minister said the meeting will focus on tariffs and the broader U.S.-Canada relationship. Carney was asked how he might avoid the kind of public argument that occurred between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in the Oval Office. He responded that he is expecting a, quote, difficult but constructive conversation. Carney was sworn in as Canada's 24th Prime Minister in March after being elected leader of the Liberal Party. Canadian voters return the party to power in the country's federal elections this week. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 5:30, Blaze Keller returns with a complete look of your First Warn forecast.
We are in for some cloud cover and some light showers this evening. Hit or miss showers. Not everybody will see them as we kick off our next work week, which will start off cloudy with that morning chance for rain on Monday. We dry out for the most part on Tuesday and stay mostly dry on Wednesday. But next week we're going to be in the 60s and 70s, and we continue to see very little rain chances over the next 7 to 10 days, other than really Monday and possibly Tuesday into Wednesday. Some showers overnight into the start of the work week. Further to the east is going to have that better chance for that shower activity, at least through the morning commute time frame. We're at 7:30 on Monday morning, still dealing with the cloud cover, hit or miss showers. Not everybody is underneath the green, the showers, so it is going to be hit or miss as we kick off our next work week. We maybe will break up those clouds as we go further into your Monday afternoon, but starting off mostly cloudy, turning more partly sunny as the day goes on. That's going to allow our temperatures to climb back into those 60s and again a few 70s further north and west, where we likely won't see the rain or that cloud cover. Closer to Lake Michigan, we're looking at the 50s because we're going to have the clouds, and we're also going to have winds off of Lake Michigan, which will keep us a little bit on the cooler side. But after Thursday, we warm on up back into those 60s, 70s, and we slide into those low to mid 70s by the middle of our upcoming work week. So not this week, but that following week, because we continue to sit underneath an omega blocking pattern. Those two low pressure systems that I told you that were jamming up our jet stream, they decided to sit in a way that looks like the Greek letter omega. These red arrows here showing kind of the setup as we kick off next week. So that's the reason why it's called an omega block. It has nothing to do with anything other than just how it looks, like that Greek letter. Essentially, it's two cutoff low pressure systems on either side of a high pressure system. They have it stuck there. And if you're underneath the high pressure system, you get the clear skies for the most part, light winds and dry conditions. If you're underneath either of these low pressure systems, you get the cloud cover, you get the cooler temperatures, as well as that chance for rain. And because of how large it is, I mean, it's pretty much taken up the entire United States, they can persist for a little bit. We got to get another strong low pressure system out of the Pacific to really move this along. And we will, but it's going to take some time. Some of our long-range models don't have this omega blocking pattern breaking down until the middle of May. So depends on who you ask. It could be good news. We're underneath quiet conditions, or they maybe want some rain. But regardless, just a little bit of weather information for you guys at home. If you hear people talking about the omega blocking pattern, this is what they're talking about, just how the atmosphere is set on up. It's one of about 3 different patterns we see in total. There's a Rex blocking pattern, which is the lows on the north and the south and the highs in the middle, or we just get a big high pressure system sitting over an area. Because we're going to be underneath this high pressure system over the next couple of days and possibly week to week and a half, we're going to be warmer than average. We're looking at about an 80 to 90% chance of being warmer than average as we head into the May 10th through 14th time frame. So again, we're going to be sitting underneath the quiet conditions. We're going to have little to no rain chances, which is good and bad. We could use some rain, but we don't want to be too waterlogged. If this persists, you know, we could see some drier conditions pop up. But as I said, this doesn't look to stick around for too long. I mean, it'll last through at least mid-May. But for folks who really want to get outside, enjoy the nice weather like yourself, Jalen, and I'm sure folks at home, 70 starting Saturday through the middle of that next work week. Little to no rain chances. I mean, we're kind of really kicking off summer on a nice note.
Yeah, and as always, I mean, a little bit of rain, we could always use it, but
got to keep the grass green.
Yeah, we could get outside, we can hit the terrace, we can go for a bike ride, run outside.
And no severe weather, which is great.
I know
for everybody.
I mean, but for you guys in particular.
Yeah, for us, but
breathe.
Obviously folks at home too. Yeah, just a nice maybe week to week and a half of chilling.
Just breathe.
Yes.
For once. All right, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. And still to come in sports, the Brewers tried to avoid getting swept by the Cubs on their home turf. Andrew has the highlights next on News 3 Now.
For the Brewers, this year's I-94 rivalry is off to a rocky start. The Cubs took each of the first 2 games and had a chance to sweep Milwaukee in Milwaukee for the first time in a decade today. Brewers leading 1-0 in the 4th, and the Crew would extend their lead with a hallmark moment. Daz Cameron drives in a run thanks to his first hit in a Brewers jersey, and his dad, you may remember him, Mike Cameron, who played for the Crew back in the day, is there to witness it. Grab your tissues as the Crew tear open a 2-0 lead, and later in the frame, the rookie Caleb Durbin doubles the lead. A 2-run rip to the right side completes a 4-run 4th, helping the Brewers avoid the sweep as they take it 4-0, the final. For all of the excitement and the whirlwind that is draft day for an NFL player, it gets real this weekend at rookie minicamp. And even if the season is still months away, reporting to Green Bay for the first time as a professional athlete is a stunning realization and a dream come true that's been a long time in the making for a pair of Packers' new defensive linemen.
Taking it in, having fun, but also realizing that I'm doing this for that little kid that said he wants to be a professional football player when I was like 5 or 6. Out there practicing in Green Bay Packers gear. Like, it don't really get better than that.
After I got drafted, it really didn't hit me until I woke up the next morning. It was like, whoa, I'm a Packer. And it was like, oh, snap, I'm really in the NFL for real. But it's cool, man. It's a blessing, bro. 10-year-old me would be very proud. I'm in the NFL. I'm living the dream. I get to play football for fun now. And, I just got smiles on my face. We did a walk there. I'm just smiling. It's like, wow, I'm really here, bro. It's a blessing.
As you could imagine, finding the right players in the transfer portal can feel like finding a needle in a haystack. You sift through thousands of players trying to find the best 4 or 5 applicants, you could say, to fit your specific needs. Greg Gard says the formula for him and the portal boils down to relationships, saying that Virginia transfer Andrew Rohde is a prime example, someone that they recruited for years.
A lot of research, a lot of phone calls, a lot of depending on, you're trying to rely on relationships. Obviously with Rohde, being from the state, we recruited him, watched him in high school, recruited him when he transferred from St. Thomas to Virginia. Obviously stayed in touch with the people around him, and he decides to make a move.
WNBA preseason action kicking off, and how cool is this? Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever squad played their tune-up game back at her old stomping grounds at Carver Hawkeye Arena, where the Hawkeyes play in Iowa City. Quite the homecoming for the NCAA's all-time leading scorer. And finally, check this out. Before a Formula One race in Miami, replica cars made out of Legos. Yes, Legos were unveiled, but Jalen, these aren't just for show. They are made for speed. Each car is made out of 400,000 Legos and can reach a top speed of 12 miles an hour.
That's a nice little jog.
Yeah. It's not necessarily made for speed, but I would say it's made for cruising distance, you know?
If I had a dog, I'd ride it around the neighborhood and walk it that way. I think that'd be pretty cool. But let's get to Caitlin and company. It seems like yesterday she was, ramping up the rookie season, but now she's heading into year 2, and they've revamped their roster.
They have, and that's going to be an exciting time of the year as the WNBA season opens up here in these next few weeks. I believe actually it might be later this week. I'd have to triple check on that. Either way, really exciting stuff. What we didn't mention is that they were playing against Team Brazil, or Brazil's female national team. Kind of a cool story. I do believe that the Fever won that game thanks to a ton of Caitlin Clark threes.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to see the impact and the growth of women's, not college basketball, but basketball in general. A packed house for a preseason tune-up game. How cool is that?
And it's
a holiday for those who observe.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you saying it like that?
Because I don't care. Talk about it. I know it's a big deal to you.
For those of you at home who don't know, it is Star Wars Day, a la May the 4th be with you. My favorite Star Wars movie, I have to go Empire Strikes Back. Do you have one?
I don't see the appeal of that movie.
We can talk off camera.
Okay, you know what? This is my gripe with your little Star Wars Day. You get May the 4th, and then you get Revenge of the 6th. Literally 2 days apart. That's not fair.
Why not? You have Christmas and Christmas Eve.
That's different.
I guess. What should we expect?
Tonight, quiet. Clouds are going to move on in. That rain will stick around into the morning hours on Monday.